Welcome to a solitaire wargame playthrough from theplayersaid.com. My name is Grant. Today I'm going to play and actually give my final thoughts on a very interesting print and play wargame from Solo Wargame. They're a newer company, probably in the last year or 18 months. But the game is called Thermopylae, Last Stand. So as you know, this is where Leonidas and the 300 Spartans and some other Greek allies made a stand at the Hot Gates to try and prevent, not necessarily defeat, but to prevent the Persian army from invading Greece and giving the rest of Greece time to prepare and mobilize to get ready to fight them off. Ultimately, we all know history. They died to the man. And it's a very famous battle, very heroic, although futile in its attempt, but it did provide Greece with the chance to kind of get ready. So as I mentioned, this is a print and play game. You'll notice I have it in a manila folder. I've literally printed off the kind of the title, blown it up, the title, and taped it on the front of that folder. And then inside, the components include a rule book, and the rule book is 10 pages, very simple war game. The other component is you get this 8.5 by 11 play sheet, which you can see represents abstractly the Hot Gates and the Spartan phalanx formation, as well as the frontal deployment zone for the Persians as they attack. Also, you will notice there is a road on the side of the battlefield. The Persians are searching for this hidden trail that if they ever get to the end here, they are going to deploy extra units, and you will take attacks from the front and from the back. At that point, if that happens, I'm going to say you're totally done. I've played this, I think, 4 times now. This will be my 5th. I've not even come close to winning. The best that I did was I made it to basically the sunrise of day 3, and then I was overwhelmed. So very tough game. It's going to test you. You're going to have to make really key decisions. You're going to be rolling command dice, which are affected by your morale. The worse that gets, and it actually starts where they're a little shaky, you're going to replace your normal white command dice, which give you the results that are printed. So if you roll a 6, you get a 6. You're going to start replacing those with these red dice, and they are in essence D3s. So you don't want that to happen, although you do start like that. You're going to have to work really hard to get that bumped up, and that is going to be reduced as you take casualties, both amongst the Spartans as well as casualties from their Greek allies. Spartans are represented by these red wooden cubes. The Greek allies are represented by the blue. You're going to use the Greek allies to guard the flank, but also to then fill in the formation and the phalanx as units get killed. So very simple game. You're literally going to roll command dice every turn. You are then going to take your actions. They're listed here on the bottom. You can close ranks, counterattack, which is actually going out and attacking the Persians, hoping to remove them before they can attack you. Do a shield wall, rally, which will improve your morale, and take casualties off the casualty track. And you can reinforce, which means you're going to put a number of blue units out on the board, either filling holes in the phalanx or guarding the flanks. So those are your 5 actions. You'll notice there are 2 boxes in each of those actions. One of them is what's called the basic action. That means you're just going to get the lesser of the benefit. If you can, because you're asked to put in a number of 3 or higher to take the improved action, it's going to be a little bit better than the basic action. But the basic actions are still very important. The other thing that's important to remember about the actions is how many times you can take each of them is actually listed here. So in close ranks, the basic action can be taken an unlimited amount of times. So I could put 2 or 3 or 4 dice. You never get more than 4 dice into that action. Whereas the improved close ranks, you can only do it once. So the only ones that you can do unlimited are the basic close ranks action and the basic shield wall. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll just go ahead and jump into this. I will explain rules as we go. Keep in mind, I'm going to make a mistake. I always make mistakes in these games. I think I know the rules. I played it 4 times, but I'm going to forget something, or I'm going to do something wrong, or I'm going to bump something and it's going to get out of place. So please keep that in mind. If you see those errors and you know the game, you can call them out. But with me, you get what you get. So I'm just trying to show you how to play the game and to get an understanding of it. This is not a substitute for you actually reading the rule book and playing the game yourself to understand how it goes. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to shut my mouth and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the game is divided into a number of phases. The first phase is the deployment phase. And this, you focus on the timeline track. We are in the dawn phase, or dawn part of the first day, which says initial assaults. It's going to tell us on the bottom how many Persian cubes to put out in the deployment zone. Here it lists 3 white cubes. I've got 3 white cubes. We're going to go ahead and move those out and put them into the white boxes. You will notice that this one is white and black, so that will either hold a infantry, a white infantry, or it will hold a black immortal, that one box. We're also going to put out a green cube, which represents archers. So you have infantry, you have archers, and then the black Persian units are their immortal units. They're a little bit better. So there you have it, deploy phase. Very, very simple. Next phase is our rolling of the command dice. This is called the Spartan phase. You will notice the morale track is going to mean that we normally get 4 white dice. But because our morale is 1 step down, we're going to get 3 white dice, and we will replace one of those 4 white dice with a red dice. Remember, that's a D3, so it's just less good. One other thing I want to point out, we have these reserve dice. We have a 6 and a 2, totaling 8 points. They can be used in conjunction with the reinforce action. For every blue cube you have to put out on the board, either to guard the flanks or to fill a gap, you're going to reduce those until they go to 0. So you can, the 2 is going to give you 2 of those, and then that will go off the board. You'll then have a remaining 6. Now that I'm looking at that, it's 6 and 2. So keep that in mind. You can also do divine favor. You can reduce these by 1 to reroll any single die. It has to be a command die, or it has to be a shield wall or protection die roll. You can't make the Persians reroll one of their attacks. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll our dice. We have these 4 6s. All right. One of the special rules, this is a terrible roll, by the way. If you ever roll 2 1s, you get to re-roll 1 of those dice. So let's go ahead. I'm going to keep that red one as crap. I'm going to re-roll this white die, hoping to get, and I got a 2. Yeah, this is not a good start. Frankly, this is going to be bad for me, because I will not be able to do any of the counterattack actions to eliminate their numbers. I'm only going to be able to do basic shield walls, and I'm going to be able to potentially put out reinforcements. That's it. Now, I could go ahead and spend Divine Favor, one of my reserve numbers, but I'm not going to do that. So we assign these dice, and then we put them out on the board. Damn, this is terrible. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put, and this is unlimited, I'm going to put 2 dice into shield wall, And I get to put 2 of these yellow cubes on any areas that I so choose. I'm going to put it on 2 and I'm going to put it on 3, and that will help protect those columns. Now I could do it again, and I actually might do it again, because the rest of these I don't really need. I don't need to close ranks because I have no gaps. I can't rally. So I'm actually going to put out a 3rd shield wall. It's about the best that I can do. I'm going to go ahead and now I'm putting them on the front row because these white guys will only attack the front row. Green attacks the middle and the back row, and they're kind of identified with these dice symbols. They're hard to see for you there. I still have this 1, which is going to be wasted. I can't put it in this because it requires a 2. I could close a rank, but I don't have any guys out. So that's wasted. It happens a lot. I feel like that's one thing I don't like about the game. I end up wasting a lot of die because I roll a lot of 1s. And that's just the way it is. Okay, so we have done our 3 shield wall. And remember, we did the basic action, so we only get to put 1 yellow cube on 1 Spartan. If I had had a 5, I could put 3 of those out. That would have been very much better if I could have gotten that. Okay, we've chosen all of our actions. We're now going to go, and we've done all those actions. We are now going to go to the Persian phase. And basically what's going to happen is all of the Persian units here, so you have 3 white, you're going to take 3 white dice, and a green dice, and you're going to roll. These numbers coordinate with the die results, so white are going to be the first row, positions 1 through 4. A 5 or a 6 means it's a miss. The green dice are going to be second row, spot 1, 2, and 3, and the third row, 4, 5, and 6. So it's important to remember that the archers don't attack the front and the white don't attack beyond unless there is not a guy in the front row and then they move up and attack you. So we're going to go ahead and roll these dice. We're hoping for a lot of 5s and 6s. We did roll 1, so that's a miss. We're going to remove that. So we hit a 4 and a 3, which is really good for us because we have shield walls there. And then the green 4 is going to attack this very back left corner of the phalanx. All right, so now these are hits. So we get armor saves. So we're going to start with number 3. We get to roll a d6, and I need a 4, 5, or a 6 to stop that hit from happening. We rolled a 5. So the 3 does no damage to me. Now, I would normally just take the hit. I wanted to show you that. But when you have a shield wall, you just ignore the hit. The same with the 4. We're just going to ignore that hit. These shield wall icons do not stay. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of those off. So that one missed because of the shield wall. And now, I think I've already done that kind of wonky, but remember, if you have a shield wall, you don't have to roll. Now, the rules are a bit unclear because if they had rolled, say, 2 4s, they will do 2 attacks on that 4 spot. I can roll a die to do an armor save, but if I have a shield wall, I automatically reduce a hit. What I do is I roll, and if I miss, I remove the shield wall. The rules aren't actually clear on that. That's the way I play it. Okay, we're going to go to space 4. We're going to hopefully roll a 5 or a 6. We do not. We roll a 2, so that guy dies, and he goes on to the casualty track. That sucks. All right, so that's the Persian phase. Now we remove everything. So we remove the yellow cubes. We take our dice away. And that is it. Armor saves. Oh, we got to do the Persian flanking roll. That's the very last step of any phase. So that is going to cause this track to move. I cannot stop it, which is unfortunate. Here on the left of the timeline for this day 1, you will notice there are 3 white dice symbols. The Persians roll these dice, and I am hoping for 2 through 6 as a result. Any 1s will cause that black cube to move up one space per success. That's going to change as the game goes on. So we're going to roll these 3 dice. Okay, We rolled a 4, 5, and a 6. Those are all misses, so they did not discover the hidden path, which is very good. All right, end of that first part, the dawn phase of turn 1. We now, at the end of the turn, advance that cube up to the morning phase. We start that process over. First, with deployment, we're going to deploy 2 additional green archers. So we put those guys out there. So now we have 6 guys arrayed against us. That's starting to not be good. That scares me. All right, we now go to our command dice. I've got the same results, 3 white and 1 red. I'm going to roll, okay, better rolls, but still not great. All right, well, we do want to fill that. Let me see. We can only do reinforcements one time. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually, I'm actually going to do a shield wall, which is going to give me 3 yellow cubes to put out. I'm going to do a basic counterattack action, which the only difference between the basic and the advanced or the better, improved, boosted counterattack action is that you hit on 5s plus with the basic. I'm sorry, 6 plus with the basic, 5 plus with the advanced. I'm also going to put into reinforcements, I'm going to put a 2. We'll adjudicate that here in a moment. Then I'm going to put my final 2 in the basic shield wall. So I'm actually going to get 4 shield wall cubes to protect us at this time. I got to tell you one more thing about shield wall cubes here, but I'll share that with you in a moment. All right, so that's all of our actions. We're going to put out 1 reinforcement. So we have to reduce our reserve die by 1. We are going to put that right here to fill that gap. We are now going to do our shield wall. We get 3 for the advanced. I got to remove that. 3 for the advanced and 1 for the basic. So that means we're going to put out 4 yellow cubes. All right, so the other key thing about these is you have to put them all in one row or all in the same column. So with this, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put them all on the front row. And these are a little fiddly. I wish this had been bigger, maybe with a little more room, but that's okay. The game works fine. So I decide to put the 4. That is leaving me open in the back to the archers, but I'd rather lose back guys than front guys. Okay, so we've put out the reinforcement, the reserve. We've done our shield wall. We now need to do our counterattack, and we're hitting on 6 pluses. So everybody that is in the front row, all of your units get to roll dice. So I get 4 white dice that I'm going to roll. I am looking for 6 plus, and then I remove based on a priority. First, the white dice get removed. Second, black die get removed. And then third and finally, the green die or the green cubes get. Let me double check that, because I'm already feeling like I might be messing that up. Okay, attack order. Okay, white first, black Immortals second, and then green cubes last. So here we go. Hopefully I roll at least 1 6, and I do not. Now the good news is when you counterattack, if you ever roll 2 1s, you will take a loss. So somebody from that front row will need to come off. I did not roll 2, I rolled 1. I missed. Had that been the boosted action, I would have hit on 5s plus. I would have removed 2 of those. So that is the power in the boosted action, and that did not go well for me. I would expect nothing less. This game is brutal. All right, so that's all of my phase, all of my actions. We go to the Persian attack phase, or the Persian phase. They're going to roll 3 white dice and 3 green dice. So that's what they're going to roll. And remember, you coordinate those with, okay, one of the white dice missed. Remember, 5 or 6 misses, so I'm going to put that off. They hit space 3 and 4, which 3 and 4 both have a shield wall icon or a symbol there, or a piece, a yellow piece. So that's good. Then they rolled a 3, a 5, and a 6. So basically, this position's going to get hit, and then 5 and 6 are going to get hit. They will get armor saves, but I have a potential here to lose probably 3 guys. That would not be good. I may use reserves to re-roll that if that is the case. So 3 and 4, I'm not going to roll. I'm just going to use those to save those hits because they can't be attacked again. Now we're going to go to the 3 die. So there's the 3 space. We get an armor die roll save. I rolled a 4. We save. Excellent. We're going to go to the 5 space, which is here, the third one over. I'm sorry, the second one over. No. Yes, the second one over. We're going to roll. We rolled a 4. We saved. That's also excellent. Now we're going to go to the 6 space. Now I'm actually, yep. So they do hit. It's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So we're going to roll here for the 6 space. I'm hoping to get a 4, 5, or a 6. I got a 2. I'm going to use one of my reserves to re-roll that. And I still failed, so we lose that casualty. That hurts. Okay, we have 1 hole in the phalanx. Not a problem at this point, but you never really want to get 2 because if you ever lose everybody in a column, you're going to lose an additional morale. So that can really damage you and bring a quick end to the game. So our combat phase is over. We remove all those dice. Clean up, now we do, I'm sorry, once again, the Persian advanced down the flanking track. So we're going to roll 3 dice. We're looking for 2. Okay. So we rolled 1, 1. So that will advance once. I have to allow it. There's nothing I can do. I could make it re-roll, but I don't want to do that. So it has advanced once. Now we clean up. We take off the remaining shield walls. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about the shield walls, when you place them out, you have to place them in a row, in a row or a column. So if you have 4, you could put all 4 on the front, or you could do 3 there. It's a tactic thing. Okay, end of the phase. We did the flanking roll. We're in decent shape, not great shape, but we're in decent shape. All right, let's go ahead and advance to the midday. Now, it tells us to add 3 white cubes. Well, there are not 3 spaces in the white cubes, therefore these don't get added. So that is something that does save you. I have not killed those, but now I don't have to place them, so that's good. So we're done with that. So we've moved that on. So now we go to we did the Persian deployment. Now we're going to go to my orders phase. We're going to pick 3 white dice and 1 red. We're still in good shape. We do need to bolster this morale this turn. Oh my gosh, I'm just not rolling well. Normally I get a couple of 6s and it's just not good. So this 5 will become a 3. Remember, it's a D3. So we'll put that as a 3. So not good results. Damn it. Yeah, I can't even do frickin' counterattacks. Okay, well, I'm in a bit of trouble, which is the way this game is. I've not done well at this game yet. Here's what I am going to do. I'm going to use this 4 to do a rally, which is going to allow me to remove a red or a blue cube from the casualty track. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, if you ever get 3 casualties at the point where it fills up, you're going to lose a morale. I don't want to lose morale, so I'm going to have to get that. I would have preferred to gain a morale and move that up the track, but I didn't get a 6. So that's unfortunate. I could do a couple of shield walls. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 2 shield walls, and this one is just going to get wasted, because move a red cube or blue cube into an adjacent slot, I don't need to do that. Because this is vacant, if a 6 is rolled, that's just a no hit. So I don't care about that. Now, once again, if you get a couple of losses in that column, then you got to start figuring out how to plug the holes. All right, let's go ahead and put out our 2 shield walls. So I'm going to do a 2 and I'm going to do a 4. Yeah, you're just guessing. Rally. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of the red cubes from the casualty track. That just staves off a morale loss. And those are all of my actions. So you can see I didn't get to do a whole lot that turn. No counterattacks, not good. All right, now we go to the Persian phase. They are going to roll their attacks. 3 white and 3 green. So they're going to go ahead and roll. Oh, good. So the white dice rolled 2 5s and 6s. Those are both misses, remember? So those are out. They rolled 1 4, I guessed appropriately. Then they rolled a 3 and a 4. So this, 1, 2, this space will be hit. This space will be hit. And that space, I'm sorry, the empty space. So that empty space is going to go away. We're just going to remove that. The 4, I'm going to remove the shield wall cube because my tactics held up and canceled that hit. And then we're going to roll for the 3 and the 4, and we're going to hope that we get good results. 3 first. No. Well, it's safe to lose that at this point. Good gosh. Now the 4. So the 4 is this blue die. We're going to roll that. Okay, we saved. Good. So we're not going to lose our morale. We have some holes, but we can plug them. That's all my actions. We're going to go ahead and remove the shield wall. We do need to do the Persian flanking attempt. So we're going to roll 3d6. Okay, they rolled 4s, 5s. Nothing is going to happen. That cube doesn't advance. That's a good thing. We cleaned up already. I took everything off. We'll remove the green dice. And now we're going to advance to the evening phase of day 1. So we're still alive. That's a good thing. We haven't used a ton of our resources. That's a good thing. We're going to start using those. But yeah, we're doing okay. All right. First thing, we have the Persian deployment phase. We're going to put out 2 black cubes, but you don't replace cubes that are on the board. I will put 1 immortal, and the other one does not go on. So we've got a lot of attacks coming our way. This is starting to ramp up pretty badly. Okay, morale. Well, our morale is still at the same point. We get our 4 dice, 3 regular and 1 d3. Please roll well. Okay, a 2 and a 1 becomes a 1. So that's a 1. And then we got a 6, a 4, and a 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do a gain 1 morale. So I'm boosting that up. If we can somehow make it through this turn without losing, we're actually going to roll 4 white dice next time. That will be very, very good. I also feel like I want to remove a casualty. Then I'm only going to do 1 shield wall, so that's a little scary. I'm going to put it on 3. And then I have a 1. I kind of want to fill a gap. So I'm going to move this cube up there just to fill in that hole. Now, we've got a couple holes in the back. We've got to fill those fairly quickly. I hope that we survive this time. So we did the gain 1 morale. We're up 1. We removed a red cube from the track, and then we did 1 shield wall cube. And then the 1 we moved up, so that comes off. So all of our actions are done. We now go to the Persian attack phase. So they get 3 white, they get 3 green, and they get a black. Now we're hoping for at least a couple 5s and 6s on the white and the black dice, And then we're hoping for some 5s and 6s on the green dice because they'll shoot at spots that don't have guys. So let's go ahead and roll those. Yeah, great. So we got 1 6, so that will miss. But then we got a 1 3 and a 4 for the front line. Not good. And then we got a 2 3 and a 4. I just hit that damn dice with my fat fingers. So a 2 3 and a 4. So that means this section's going to be targeted, that's going to be targeted, and this is going to be targeted. No, this one's going to be targeted. So that could be bad. We're lucky we do have a shield wall, which will cancel the 3. So at least we don't have to roll for that. All right, let's do the Immortal. And one key thing about the Immortals ignore shield walls. You can still roll an armor save, but they will not, shield walls don't help you or protect you from them. So I'm going to roll, I need a 4, 5, or a 6. Got a 6. So we staved off the attack of the Immortals. That's great. A 4, we need a 4, 5, or a 6. We got a 6. So we didn't take a loss there. That's great. Now we're going to go the 2, the 3, and the 4. So these are, we need, so the 2, we saved. Wow, that's good. The 3, we saved, a 6. Our guys are really, and a 3, so the 4, this guy takes a hit. So we're starting to lose all of our guys in the back. We probably need to do a reinforcement here because now we're closer to being hit. We survived. That's a good thing. We did clean up already. We need to do the flanking attempt. So we're going to roll 3 6-siders, and we're hoping for 2s. Okay. They did not find the trail, so they have moved only 1 space on the trail. That is actually very good. We're in very good shape. We cleaned up already. We now move to the dawn phase of day 2, which is called the Immortals. Now, what happens in this phase when you move from one day to the next, all the units up here get replaced. They get moved off the battlefield, which is good for us. If there were guys in the flanking path, you'll notice there are cubes back here. They do not get removed at the end of a day. So that kind of gives us a breather. But we are deploying 2 Immortals. So this turn, the reality is I need to spend no dice on shield wall because it wouldn't help me. I think we're actually in good shape right now. Now it's going to go horribly south. Okay, we now get 4 white command dice, which is really excellent. And we rolled really well. We can do some counterattacks. So we rolled a 6, a 5, a 2, and a 3. Okay, well, we're going to do a boosted counterattack action. We don't need to do shield walls this turn. We are going to remove one of the casualties from the track. Because remember, when you get 3 casualties, you lose a morale. I don't want to lose morale if I can avoid it. Okay, we're going to put a 3 here. You have to put at least a 2. This becomes a D3. So you divide that by 2. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 rounded up. I get 2 reserves to put out, and my reserve die goes down 2 spots. So it's now down to a 4. I'm going to put 1 there. And I'm going to put 1 flank guard, because they're going to start rolling. They need 1s and 2s. So I need to be very, very careful about that. Boy, it's going to be tough. So I've got, I think this die was a 2. Maybe I've messed that up. I don't need shield walls. Really, there's nothing else for me to do. I can only do that once, so I'm just going to waste that. That's one thing I don't like. I wish there was something to do with, I don't know. I don't know what the rule there to fix that would be, but there's got to be something. I put my actions out. Let's go ahead and adjudicate those. I removed 1 from the track. We already did that. I need to not do that. I do that sometimes too quickly. We're going to do a counterattack on the front. We get 4 white dice. We already put our reserves out as well. We get 4 white dice, and we are looking for 5s or 6s to actually attack and kill the Immortals. Look at that. 2 6s. Both of these Immortals get speared, and they are dead. That is so excellent because we're not going to get attacked this turn. Amazing. That was our number 6. That's the best roll I think I've ever had. That's amazing. So our actions are done. There are no Persian forces to attack us. Therefore, their part is done. They are now going to roll 3 dice for their flanking attempt. I think I just moved the board. Let me recenter that. So we're going to roll 3d6. Okay, that is going to move once, and I'm okay with that. Okay, that was a really good turn for us. We really made some progress. Okay, so I cleaned up, I removed everything. We did the flanking roll. We're going to move to the morning phase of day 2. We're going to put out 2 infantry, and we're going to put out 1 archer. And the really cool thing is they assumed that I would still have those Immortals. That's why they're only putting a few out. This is actually really excellent. We can protect ourselves really well this turn and probably not have more than 1 loss, but we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So the Persian deployment phase, that is it. So we're now going to roll our command dice. Once again, we're at high morale. We're at iron resolve. We're going to roll all 4 dice. Oh, gosh. Well, okay. Crap. That's what we rolled. It's just what it is. I'm going to do a boosted counterattack. I think that's key at this point. If I can somehow remove those, at least 1 or 2 of them, that would be amazing. I don't necessarily want to put out reserves at this point. I will go ahead. I'm going to do a shield wall. I'm going to do a shield wall, and I think this one is just going to be wasted. I could spend a resolve to re-roll it, but I'm not sure what that would gain me. And if I had a 4, I could remove that cube off the track, but I think we're going to let it ride. So let's go ahead and do 2 shield wall cubes. I'm going to put them on number 2, and I'm going to put them on number 3. Once again, just guessing. We're going to do a counterattack. So I have 4 Spartans in the front. We need 5s and 6s. We rolled 1 5, but we rolled 3 1s, which means we're going to lose somebody in the front. The only way I can avoid that is by re-rolling, and I think I will. I don't want to lose that at this point. So I'm going to re-roll 2 of those dice. I will keep the 5. I will keep the 1. Okay, but wow. That was the most excellent roll I've ever had, but it cost me 2 reserve points. So that is going to score 3 hits. We'll remove all the infantry and 1 of the archers. There is nobody left to attack us. This is going swimmingly, guys. The only problem I have is I'm a little concerned because I'm down to 2 reserves at this point of the game. I'm at about the halfway point. All right, let's remove my command dice. We've done all of our actions. There is no attack. Let's do the flanking roll 3, and they're looking for 1s and 2s. It does move 1 space. It was at 2. I moved that. So we're going to move that down to the 3rd spot. I'm okay with that. Okay, we remove those dice. You got to be really careful or you end up flicking things, and I am not very careful. All right, we're going to remove the shield walls cubes as part of cleanup. Trying to keep my hand out of the shot as much as I can, but it's hard. You're playing the game. We already rolled for the flanking roll. It did advance once. I could have removed that blue cube, but I think we're in good shape. I'm not ready to do that quite yet. I need to reserve these 2 to put out reserves to fill gaps. I got to be very careful. I'm probably being too aggressive. But yeah, that's the end of the phase. There's nothing else we need to do. We need to advance the turn. The deployment phase, they're going to put out 2 white infantry and 1 green archer. So we have another opportunity here to really make some hay, but the command dice are what are going to determine that. We still have high morale. We're going to roll all 4 dice, and we didn't get great rolls. Let's put those there. We will put a 4 on the basic counterattack. Do I want to do a couple of shield wall tokens? I don't want to use reserves quite yet. So yeah, I'm going to put 2 cubes in and then I'm going to waste this one. I could move a red or a blue cube around, but I don't really care at this point. All right, so let's go ahead and do our counterattack. So we're going to do a basic counterattack. Let's do our 2 shield wall tokens first so I can get those dice. I'm going to put those on 2 and 3 again. Yeah. So that gets me those dice away. And now I'm doing my 4 counterattack dice. And I only hit on 6s. So I rolled 1 6. That will remove 1 white. That's good. I'm totally good with that. So we put those dice away. Now we go to the Persian attack phase. 1 green and 1 white. They roll a 5. A 5 is a miss for the white. So that's a miss. And they hit space number 2, which is right here. It's this Spartan. So we're going to roll hopefully a 4, 5, or a 6. We rolled a 4. We don't take a loss. We survived another attack round. We're going to roll the 3 flanking dice. 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is, or 3, 5, 4, 5, and 6, or 3 or above are misses. So they do not find the hidden path, the goat path. Now we're going to do cleanup. So we go ahead and remove the shield cubes. And we've already cleaned up. We're in really good shape. Let's go to the evening phase of day 2. This is going well. I'm going to move this 1 down here. That's there. All right. Persian deployment phase. They're going to get 3 white. So they put out 3. They cannot have 3 white because that one is a black one. There are no Immortals coming. We already killed all of them. And there's 1 archer. So that's what's arrayed against us. Our morale is at Iron Resolve. We roll 4 white dice. Gosh. That's a 6, 5, a 2, and a 1. We are definitely doing a boosted counterattack. We're going to do a special shield wall action. We're going to do a limited shield wall action, and then we will waste that 1. All right, let's go ahead and do our boosted counterattack, which means we're going to hit on 5s and 6s. Well, I'm going to roll this knowing that we have 1. We're going to get 4 shield wall cubes. We're going to put them all on the front row. All right. Hey, hit on 5s and 6s. We did not roll 2 1s. We removed 2 white cubes. That one will slide down. That was really good. We've had some really good attacks. Now we get 3 shield wall cubes for the boosted action and 1 for the basic action. So we're going to put 4 out. Well, now I'm thinking about it. I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them all on this row. To protect from the archers and protect our good guys, our good soldiers. The Greeks were good, but it is what it is. Okay, now we're going to roll 1 white die for the infantry, 2 green dice. Let's hope. Okay, the 5 is a miss for the white. Excellent. And then there are 2 4s. 1, 2, 3. So that is the last one. And here, these are both 4s. Sorry. I need to make sure you guys understand that as we're playing. So these both hit that 4 spot. I'm going to put them right there. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do because the rules don't address this. We are going to roll our first armor save. If we save, we will not roll the second one and we'll discard the cube and call it good. But because I have a cube there, I feel like that's unfair to automatically say the first attack is a miss. I don't think that's fair, and the rules don't necessarily address it. All right, so first attack on the 4 position. Well, actually, it's down here. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. The 4 is this spot that is empty back here, 4, 5, and 6. So these attacks are nullified. I'm sorry. I almost made a huge mistake. I'm glad I corrected that. So they missed us. We are now going to do the flanking roll, 3d6. Okay, they advanced twice. I'm going to stop one of those advances. So they would have gotten here, but I threw away the blue Greek cube to stop them moving the second time. That's getting a little too close to the end, and I want to make sure that they don't get there, because I'm telling you, if they ever get there, it's over. I think in my third game, it got there pretty quickly. For some reason, they just rolled really well. And man, I couldn't withstand the attacks. All right, we're going to go ahead and clean off the yellow cubes. We've removed our dice. There's nothing else going. We advance down to the day 3. We will remove all the existing cubes because they don't carry over unless they're down on the flanking road. We are now going to deploy 3 white cubes, 1, 2, and 3. And just 1 archer cube. We're doing well. We're doing well. So that's their deployment phase. So now we do our command. I'm still at 4. I'm going to roll 4 white dice and rolled really well. All right, we're definitely doing a counterattack, a boosted counterattack. We're going to do a boosted shield wall. We are going to remove 1 from the casualty track, and then I'm going to put out 1 reinforcement on the trail here. That's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and put out our 1 reinforcement on the trail to be able to stop those, because now they're going to, on 1, 2s, and 3s, they're going to advance. I want to stop that as best I can. Our reserve die goes down to 1. We now either have a divine favor reroll, or we can deploy 1 more guy. We're going to remove a red cube from the casualty track. I felt like that was a good opportunity to do that. You know, I could have done a basic counterattack and been aggressive. I'm going to do this. I feel good about this. We're now going to do the shield wall. We get to put 3 cubes out. We're going to put, I'm just going to put them all on the front row. I'm tired of trying to stack them up. We're putting them on the front row. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's the shield wall we did. We chose spot 2, 3, and 4. 1s are less common. Now watch me roll a whole crap load of 1s. And now we get a boosted counterattack. So we're going to roll 1 die for each of the red guys in the front row. They are hitting on 5s and 6s. Okay, the good news is we don't take any losses, but we don't get any hits. That was 3 2s and a 1. The worst counterattack. They were exhausted. It is what it is. All right, 3 white dice for each of the infantry and 1 for the... Okay, a 6 misses, so that's good. A 2 is shielded. A 4 is shielded. And then the 2 in the back row is unshielded. So the 2 and the 4 are canceled. There's the 2, and there's the 4. We don't have to roll. And now we're going to roll for the 2. We rolled a 5. We saved against that archery attack. So we took no losses. Now we're going to go ahead and do the flanking road. They roll 3 dice. 1, 2, and 3 is what they need to succeed. So they advance once. I'm all right with that. Actually, I'm going to stop it because if we somehow roll 3 dice in the next turn, they would have been all the way, and that would have added. So I'm going to stop it. I guess it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I'm going to go ahead and stop that so it didn't advance. So we're going to do cleanup. I take that off. Get the dice back. We have 0 casualties on the casualty track, iron, resolve, morale, 4 command dice that are white, and we still have 1 reserve left. So we might actually win this. We might. Let's advance to the morning. We're going to put out 2 archers. Now this is going to be a tough turn because we're going to have 6 attacks against us. All right, let's go to our command dice phase. Not great. Okay, well, we can do a shield wall. We're going to do a basic counterattack. The 3, I don't need to move any guys around. I don't want to use that reserve. And that's 1 time only, 1 time only. I can do an extra shield wall. It just needs a 2 or higher. And then that 1 gets wasted. How many 1s have I wasted? Probably 6. That's just the way the game goes. All right, let's do our shield wall. We get 3 for the boosted action. And we get 1 for that basic action. Well, I'm going to go ahead and protect the second row because I'm feeling good. We'll protect the second row from the archers. How about that? Feeling good about this counterattack. We have a basic counterattack, which means 4 dice hitting on 6s. Oh my gosh, look at that. 2 6s. We remove 2 infantry. So that was a really good call to put my shield wall on the second row because we're going to take more green attacks than we will white attacks. That may have been a very key decision that helped me. All right, now the Persians are going to attack. They get 3 green dice for the archers and 1 for the... Okay, so we've got a 4, a 5, and a 6. The 6 is a miss because it's blank, so we will remove that. The 3 is protected by a shield wall. We will remove the shield wall, and that cancels that hit. Okay, so we need to do a 4 and a 5. So we're risking here we could lose 2. The 4 first. Hey, we staved off the 4 attack. Our defense or armor value worked. Now the 5, this spot, they died. They took an arrow and they died. Okay, so we lost 1, not a huge deal. Still think we're in very good position. I'm going to remove those, although we're not done with the Persian phase yet. I'm kind of jumping ahead. Okay, so we need to do the trail, the flanking trail. Now it's 1s, 2s, and 3s they will advance. They advance once. I'm all right with that. Yeah, yay, yay, yay. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right, cleanup. We already did that. We now advance to the afternoon phase of day 3 encirclement. We deploy 3 white Persians. Only 2 of them can come out on the board because remember that is a black one. That's for Immortals. Okay, so that's done. We still have our 4 command dice because we're at iron resolve. We're going to roll, hoping for some, yep, that's a good roll. See, having high morale is such a huge benefit. I can't even describe it to you. All right, we're going to do a boosted counterattack. We are also going to do a basic counterattack. We are going to do a boosted shield wall. And we are going to do a basic shield wall. I think that's what we're going to do. So the boosted shield wall gives us 3 yellow cubes. The basic gives us 1. We are going to deploy these. Once again, the same line of thinking. I'm going to put them on the second row. I have a good feeling about our 2 counterattacks. I think we might not be taking any white attacks. So now we're going to do our boosted counterattack first. We're going to get 4 dice hitting on 5s and 6s. And we still have 1 reserve that we could reroll. Hey, 2 hits, I'll take that every day. So we're going to kill 2 of the white infantry. Excellent. And now we're going to do our basic counterattack, which is 4 dice hitting on 6s only. Well, I hope we can at least get 1. Oh, we do get 1, so we will kill the white infantry, but we have 2. Shoot. We have, I'm going to actually use our final reserve to re-roll one of those 1s. Remember, you can re-roll only your dice. I can't re-roll the Persian's dice. Okay, we rolled a 6. So that would be 1 more hit on, yes. So I remove 1 of the green cubes. That's amazing. We have 2 archer attacks, but we have everybody shield walled. Nope, we got to roll. We got to roll because they could roll the bottom. Although 4, 5, and 6 is blank. Let's see what happens. They rolled 2 6s. Those are going to be misses. So now we clean up. We're jumping ahead. I should have done the flanking road roll. And here's where we're in a bit of danger. They're going to roll 3 6-siders. If this advances, they're going to start attacking us from the back. Okay, it advances only twice, 1 and 2, so it is short. They aren't encircling us quite yet. Yeah, that actually worked out really well. Because the final and flanking roll, I don't think even happens. Okay, we cleaned up. We're still at 4 morale. We just have 1 casualty. We move into the evening phase of day 3, where they are going to encircle us and they're going to kill us. But we have held strong and we have followed the course of history by fighting well at the hot gates at Thermopylae. All right, Persian deployment. They're going to get 2 Immortals. We could still lose here, guys. Don't let me get too cocky. If all 4 of those hits, and certain, we could still lose. It's going to be, it's remote, but we could still lose. 2 Immortals deploy. We still get our 4 command dice. We rolled well. Not as well as last time. We are going to do 1 improved shield wall. I think I will actually remove a casualty here, because now I can take and not lose a morale. Right? Yeah, we're going to do a boosted shield wall. And then with 2 3s, we're going to do a basic shield wall. And this 3 will be, we could do another basic. We're going to do another basic shield wall. Yeah, this is great. So I removed the cube already from the casualty. That means we have no casualty. If we lose 3, we're going to lose a morale, but I think that staved off us having to lose the game. But we'll see how this goes. I could kill myself. Well, I don't have counterattacks. So we're going to get 3 yellow plus 1 each for the basic dice. So 5 total yellow cubes. And we are going to put all 4 on the front row. And then we have 1 more I'm going to put here so we can go up and down. That protects that spot. We have no counterattacks. They're going to roll their dice. They get 2 black. They get, actually, you know, remember, Immortals cannot, their attacks cannot be stopped by shield wall. So we're actually going to do that. Well, then is there a better use for my 3? No, I don't believe so. I don't have any reserves, so no. That's what we're going to do. 2 green dice, 2 black dice. Okay, Space number 2 and space number 4 are hit by the Immortals. We get armor saves. Space number 6 is empty, the archers miss, and space number 2 is protected by, so that hit goes away. So both of those are done. 2 and 4, we're going to get armor saves. 2 first. We don't save. So the Immortals kill 1. Number 4, they also die. So the Immortals on the final day do some damage to us, but it's too little, too late. We still held for the 3rd day, giving Greece an opportunity. All right, so now we do the flanking roll, but at this point, once again, not sure it matters. It does advance twice, which means next turn, if there was a next turn, there would be 2 units attacking from our back, and we would basically be in trouble. We do the cleanup. That is it. The game is over. This is actually a victory. Once again, we're trying to replicate history, and this is a victory. So here, let me show you. The game ends at the end of each turn if morale reaches 0. No, that's not the case. The final turn of evening on day 3 ends the timeline. That is the case. A heroic victory because our morale is not at Greek defense collapses. So this is a heroic victory where every single one of these guys fought their hearts out, stopping the Persians long enough to allow Greece to mobilize. So it's a significant victory, a heroic victory, and there you have it. So there you have it, Thermopylae, Last Stand from Solo Wargame. I enjoyed this game. I don't enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed some of the others. They have a series of roll and write games, but this is a very light, I can play through in 30 to 35 minutes when I'm not doing all the description and the rule explanation. So there you have it. We ended with a heroic victory. I will share my review and final thoughts on the game in a separate video. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. I hope I didn't make that many mistakes, and I hope you take a look at this game. This game costs like $7. It's a print and play, so all of this you print off on your own printer. It's well done. It's formatted properly. I'm going to recommend this one to you guys. Definitely is worth it, especially if you want a game on this period. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Grant for the Player's Aid.